Um, so welcome everybody. I'm going to go through some slides that we talked about previously, and it's all around nurturing your gut. And I know that we're on a juice fast journey, so this is going to be really helpful to get some further insight on the other end of the fast and the right way to go through the refeed process. We've talked extensively about that, so I'll just go straight into the slides. And obviously any questions that you have, we can answer that at the end, or you can pop it in the chat and we can talk about that as I'm going through them. So let's see. So are we all good? Can everybody see the slides?
Yeah.
Brilliant. Okay, so yeah, nurture your gut and the microbiome. It's a topic now that is being discussed in the field of gut health, and there's this coin termed that the microbiome. It is everywhere. Gut health matters. All of these things. So it's being talked about quite a lot in the science, and there's been some pioneering research and evidence around the microbiome and the importance of it. And I think now people are really understanding the impact of why it's important to have a healthy microbiome and why it's important to nurture your gut. And in these slides, my intention is to bring awareness to you and to help you understand the workings of the microbiome. So the first thing is, what is the microbiome? So it is a name that is given to the microbial population that we host in and on our bodies. So there are trillions of microorganisms. Most of them are within the gut, and there's over 1,000 different bacteria species. And if you think about the microorganisms, every single organism, bacteria, fungi, all of them, pesticides, they all have a job, they all have a specific role. And if you think about the microbiome, those organisms, if you was to take them out, they would weigh 4 pounds. That bacteria is 4 pounds in our gut, which, that is heavy when you think about it. So it's there's a lot going on in the gut. We have microbiome in our mouth and our skin. Obviously, most of it is in our gut as well. So it's everywhere. And the bacterial gut DNA outnumbers the human DNA by 100 times. So we are mostly made up of these microorganisms. And the body's microbiome is as unique to you as your fingerprint, and can be rapidly altered by many different factors. And diet is one of them, which we'll get into later on. So what does a healthy microbiome look like, and what do you want to be aiming for? So this is a beautiful enchanted forest. It is beautiful. It is thriving. There's diversity. You can see it's teeming with life. It's inviting. There's goodness. All of that is what we want to be striving for in terms of having a thriving microbiome. And when we have this will create diversity, and it'll create all of the good bacteria that we want to have a healthy microbiome. So we say as within, so without, and that is exactly, if we've got a thriving microbiome, that's going to reflect in our skin, in our mood, in our energy, in our sleep. We're going to see it, our mental health. We're going to have clear clarity, and that will impact your own energy signature. We all have our own unique auric field. That will be glowing, that will be more expansive, and people will connect with you more. People will be like, there's a glow about this person. What are they doing? And it's all because of your microbiome. It's thriving. So this is what we want to be aiming for, right? We want this. We all want this. unfortunately, this is most people's microbiome.
Is it?
And it's quite sad when you think about it, but it's the
Yeah.
hard, cold fact. This is the majority of people's microbiome. And they're not thriving because of this microbiome and this imbalance, dysbiosis. So it's dysbiosis of the gut, the microbiome, which basically means an imbalance of the good and bad bacteria. So that imbalance is you have more of the bad bacteria rather than the good. And we want to be striving for 85% good bacteria versus the 15% bad bacteria. And, you know, if you're got a microbiome that's depleted and it's focusing on surviving, you're going to have low mood, you're going to be less engaged, your auric field energy is going to be more dull, you're going to have more mental health issues, you're not going to have any zest for life, sleep's going to be impacted, all of these things. And this is the cold hard fact, and this is a direct impact because of the things we're putting in our body. You put garbage in, you get garbage out, and that'll be reflected in your how you appear. And again, it's not our fault because we are basically kind of, what's the word I want to say? There's a focus on eating the wrong food more than the right food. Let's just be the truth about it, really. It's like there is not many advertisements that focus on healthy food at all, or healthy living, or along a sustainable lifestyle, because it doesn't serve the agenda of get sick, give a pill, get sick, give a pill. Basically, that is it. And it doesn't feed the powers at the top of the chain, basically, that are all about that monetary power. So I'm just going to put you on mute, Alicia. So why don't we have good gut health? Well, like we said, diet. I mean, we are bombarded with McDonald's, with all these fast food. You go down a high street, all you see, even the healthiest of foods aren't that healthy. Most of us think we're healthy, but we're really not. Until you really go on the health path, you realize, oh my God, like I thought I was eating really well, but I haven't been. And again, advertisement is in our face, marketing, we're subliminally, subliminal influences are always and it impacted us subconsciously with advertising and marketing. So it isn't our fault, but when we start eating these type of foods, it's acidic food, it's full of sugar, and it's got additives that make us crave these foods. So we just want more. And the microorganisms will start to feed the bad microorganisms, and they start to kind of take over the good. And then suddenly all we want is this type of food, and it becomes quite addictive. Our lifestyle. I mean, if we're eating this type of food, we go to work, we're in the busyness of life, we come home, we have dinner, and it might be junk food again. We don't exercise or go for a walk. What do we want to do? We feel lethargic, we feel tired, we go on the sofa, we just watch telly, we numb ourselves out. So we're quite sedentary now as well. You know, again, it's all a distraction, TV, distraction, marketing, and then we're pumped with more advertisement of food. And then our environment. Our environment is full of toxins, pollutions, even light pollution, 5G, all of these distractions, our phones. It's, you know, it's all impacting the health of our microbiome. And that is why there's this dysbiosis in the majority of the population. Even our home products are using chemicals, bleach. I don't use any of that in my home. I make sure I use bicarb and distilled vinegar to clean my home because of the chemicals and the toxins and the impact that has on the microbiome. So the gut imbalances. So there is evidence that indicates that gut bacteria does alter the way that we store fat, and how we balance levels of our glucose is impacted in the blood, and how we respond to hormones that make us feel hungry or full. So if there's that dysbiosis, we get the wrong mix of microbes that set the stage for obesity and then diabetes from the moment of birth, and it can affect health into old age. So for me as a doula, it's really important for me to bring awareness to my clients around understanding how we can help the baby have the best starter kit in life, and how we can set that microbiome, because it is a neutral until it goes down the birth canal, and then it collects all of the microorganisms from the mother. But it has to go down the birth canal to collect those natural good bacteria. So obviously there's situations where they can't go down the birth canal with a C-section, absolutely, and it's necessary sometimes, emergencies for sure. But what are the things you can do if you do that needs to happen? Vaginal seeding is a great one, because you're putting, and that's been proven, but it's not something that's actually part of the system yet. One day, so look into that if you are a mother to be. Skin to skin breastfeeding, it's proven that 30% of breast milk isn't for the baby, it is to feed the microbes. It's to feed those microorganisms in the microbiome. And that is what we want to help set that microbiome, to get the best starter kit. And being around pets is really great for that, because it gives off those microorganisms as well. It's going to be beneficial for the baby, and having a strong, diverse microbiome. So yeah, that's really important in getting that starter kit right for the birth, because even formula fed milk don't have the organisms that are there to feed the micro organisms for the baby, that helps with fiber. So mind the gut. So we've all heard that saying, follow your instincts, your gut instincts. So our gut is known as the second brain, and there are more neural activity in the gut than the brain. So I actually believe it's the first brain, if I'm honest, because if you think the brain's the CPU, it's the computer system, and then the gut, they're like interconnected, like they're best buddies, that they are so connected, and they're always communicating with each other via the vagus nerve. It's like a communication railway. So I see the gut as the one who's striking the keyboard. They're on the keys and they send the signal to the brain. If you've got a wrong mix of microorganisms or microbes in your gut, and for example, you're feeding the bad bacteria, you're going to get, they're going to be typing on the keys, sugar, I want sugar, chocolate, processed food, additives, alcohol. So they're going to start sending signals, and then suddenly you're like, oh, you get this craving. You're like, oh, I'm gonna have a biscuit. Can you have one biscuit? Probably not. So and believe it or not, they used to take the vagus nerve out, doctors, because they didn't think there was any use for it. It's the key part of the central nervous system, that it goes throughout the whole body. So it is very, very important, the vagus nerve. And that connection, that teleconnection, sending those signals are really important. So if there's a dysbiosis, an imbalance, that message, kind of like Chinese whispers, you say one message, and then by the time it gets to the other one, it's diluted. The message is nowhere near the same as it was given. That's kind of what goes up, can go up to the brain. I kind of see it like that. So have you got the right microbes? That's the question. Have you got the right balance? That's important. And just with your hormone production, I mean, 90% of your serotonin, which is the happy hormone, is made up in your gut. It's not the brain, it's your gut. So, there's a lot of depression out there and anxiety at the moment, and people don't know what it feels like to feel happy. And that's because of this hormone being depleted, because of the imbalance. Same with that calmness and relaxation hormone, the GABA hormone, which is the calming hormone. And then obviously the melatonin, which is the deep sleep, the darkness hormone, which encourages good sleep. It's like your circadian rhythm, it can impact all of that. And as well as fertility, people struggling with getting pregnant because of the regulation of estrogen and progesterone as well can impact that balance as well. So having the right microbes and that balance is key. So these are just some of the impacts of having dysbiosis. So are you experiencing brain fog, depression, obesity, autoimmune disease, infertility, stress, anxiety? All of these. And if you have more than one of these, it could mean that you have a term called leaky gut. And we'll get into that and what that looks like in the next slides. But if you do, please reach out. And this is where a gut protocol is going to really help, or doing a fast is really going to help you to eliminate the bad bacteria in the gut and help with the elimination process. So the fast, obviously, that we're doing right now is really impactful because it is eliminating those bad bacteria. I mean, you guys are not craving the foods that you were having before, and even when you're coming off, you're feeling that you're not wanting to have sugar anymore. So that's got all the pastas, or the starchier food. So that's great. So this is what the gut lining is. So on here, this is the gut, the cell wall of the gut. So this is a healthy looking gut lining, and it's one cell thick, each of these tight junctions here. So it's a normal mucosal barrier. And this is where one is kind of infiltrated basically and impacted by and this is why we call it leaky gut, because what happens is when you're feeding the bad bacteria, then they start to eat in between the cell walls, and that's when toxins start leaking through and undigested food, and that goes into the bloodstream. And 90% of dis-ease can be traced back to an imbalance of the gut. And when we get these foreign invaders, you could call, and they start going into the blood, it sets off an immune response. And this can cause systemic inflammation, IBS, skin issues, food allergies, and then you have nutrient malabsorption. And then it can create an onset of other issues. So the good news is it doesn't take long for your gut lining to replenish and rejuvenate. Within 24 hours, you can start to see improvements. But if you're continuously feeding the sugar, the processed, the alcohol, it's just, you're not going to see improvements. But if you start making changes now and take action, you will know there will be differences starting within 24 hours. So, what is good for the gut? Well, there's a lot of things that are great for the gut. Sauerkraut, fermented foods, probiotics, and we'll talk about fiber, yogurts, cottage cheese, kefir, kimchi. All of these things are great for the gut. But I would recommend that you check the labels even when you're having some of these things, because they could have, make sure it says live food with some of the probiotics as well. And the sugar content and salt content, just check that out before you buy it. But even with the probiotic, a lot of companies out there they just market them. They don't actually make them. So making sure you're making the right choices with the right probiotics. And a lot of companies, the actual coating that they make the probiotics cannot actually withstand the stomach acid. So it doesn't even get to where it needs to have the impact. So making sure that you have a company that does be able to withstand that stomach acid is really important, because you want to get the benefits. And exercise, the microbes love exercise. Microbiome thrives with exercise. Clean water. Our water is full of so much that we just don't want to be ingesting. So making sure fluoride, even antibiotics, the water is so important. So making sure you're getting clean water. I have a distiller, and I swear by it. I even have a filter for my water through my tap. I don't drink that water, but I make sure that I clean my veg with that water. So making sure you've got something that can clean the water, because unfortunately the water isn't, in my opinion, fit for human consumption, to be fair. And fiber is great. Fiber is key. And we'll get into that in the next slides. But, the things that aren't great for the gut, they're really bad, like antibacterial soap, like, we put on our hands, like sugar as well. Sugar feeds candida, it feeds yeast, feeds the microbes. So refined sugar you want to be avoiding that as much as you can. And just the pesticides, I go through a process of fully washing my vegetables with bicarb and distilled vinegar. I also have a kind of device that emits an electromagnetic field that actually gets rid of the pesticides and bacteria, because I'm just aware of what I put in my body and how I want to be feeding my microbiome. And mouthwash, if you're having mouthwash, I would stop straight away. That is stripping the microbiome in your mouth. And my friend's dad is a dentist, and he does not recommend any mouthwash at all. Antibiotics are hugely, they wipe out the good bacteria. So yeah, just be mindful if you have to have antibiotics, and there are occasions where, you know, it's going to be needed, then I would get straight on a gut protocol so you can start getting that balance back, and start getting that ratio and with the microorganisms, and just food colouring, any alcohol and processed foods. Just these are all going to feed the bad bacteria basically. So fiber. So fiber is key, because what fiber does, it is, where do we get fiber from? It's from our vegetables. You don't get fiber in meat, you don't get fiber in fish. So it's from fruit and vegetables. That is where you get your fiber from. So, you know, and this is kind of the same image as we said before, like a thriving forest to a not so thriving forest, the microbiome rich diet versus a Western diet, basically. So, you know, fiber helps eliminate the toxins in the body, and it's like a brush that actually goes through the body and helps eliminate toxins. And it also feeds, fiber is food for the microbiome as well, and which recommended by Professor Tim Spector, that we need to have at least 30 different types of vegetables a week. I'd say fruit and vegetables. So getting the right balance, you know, is really key. So the good bacteria, like I said, 85% versus the bad. And yeah, feed the body with fiber, 30 vegetables. Obviously, if you're doing a juice fast, your body's going to be resting the digestion. There's going to be healing in other ways. You're going to be getting the nutrients absorbed straight into the body, into the blood. And it is going to help eliminate any toxins out of the body anyway, because the body's going to go for its own natural way of healing and eliminating. So either a gut protocol or fasting is going to have amazing effects with getting the microbiome balance right and removing the bad bacteria. So yeah, again, limit the use of antibiotics or chemicals, limit sugar, alcohol, try fermented foods. I really want to start getting into fermenting my food. It's something that I've wanted to do. So that's going to be something that I'm going to try after my fast. So yeah. And then again, take the right pre and probiotic supplements, exercise, 20 minutes a day is really key. And then consider a Purify gut health protocol if you have any health concerns. So we want to eat to thrive, not to survive. That is the message really here. And what happens when you start to take action? If you start to take action now, all of these symptoms are going to start to be reduced. You're going to really see an improvement in your energy, brain fog, better mood. I mean, the experiences we've been having on day 18 of our fast is just amazing. So, and not fasting isn't for everybody, you know. So, there's other ways we can do it to start help us get there and start training us to get to that place where we can eventually go down the fast. And this is Synergies, the company that I work for and partner with as a holistic practitioner, and how I support my clients. So Synergy have their own Hughes Centre for Research and Innovation Lab, where they focus and have 35 different scientists with PhDs specifically around the microbiome and gut health and other areas. And they focus on microbiome research, product formulation, clinical studies. They do over 600 different types of tests on their products to make sure it's fit for purpose and it's up to standard, and everything's backed by science, and everything's 100% traceable as well. And they have labs around the vitamin labs, minerals and herbal labs, because they really want to get deep into understanding how these elements can help us thrive basically, and help with our health and nutrition and wellness. So what can you do? So those that are wanting to do a gut protocol, I highly recommend looking into our 21-day Purify program. This is where your starter kit for health can really journey can really start, and bringing that balance and feeding the right microbiome is key to achieving that. So these products individually are amazing, but together they've been synergistically engineered to help target the microbiome. And this isn't a fast, this is a protocol that's going to help get that balance right. So but if you want to also go down a fasting route, then I can support you with that as well. So this is for people on the replay, and obviously we're all here doing the fast anyway. So I've been seeing amazing results, and we've had clients go through the Purify, and now they're transitioning into the fast, which has definitely helped that leap for sure. So in terms of where we're going to go to, when we finish the fast, the importance of making sure, well, just in general, having a supplement that's really going to help you have the key fibers, the key vitamins, minerals, that's going to help fill in those nutritional gaps. So even the food in which the food where it's grown, the soil is depleted, right? Because we know that there's pesticides. We know the soil isn't rich with minerals, and it's not creating the most thriving fruits and vegetables out there. So with Synergy, they test all of their soil, and they go beyond organic to make sure all their products are organic as well. So this is an amazing product just to get in your daily supplementation, because you can have your two full, and especially if you struggle to get 30 different vegetables in a week, then this will help you get there, because it's got 2 full servings of fruit and vegetables. It will help boost your energy. It's got key enzymes for fiber, which is obviously fiber is important. So, and it tastes amazing. And our competitor, to get the benefit of this 1 scoop, you have to take 3 scoops of theirs. So this is proven by the scientists as well. So it's immune supporting ingredients to keep you going strong. It's got antioxidants in it, all the essential vitamins and minerals. It's going to really help you. So highly recommend that when you get off your fast, that this is going to really help you feed the good bacteria, and help that variety, because we want to get the diversity is key. The more diverse we have, the stronger our microbiome is going to be. And this is just one of my recent clients that has done the 3-week 21-day Purify program. And when she sent me this, and I know she's had an amazing journey, it really lit me up. And she said, I can't stop smiling after completing a 3-week Synergy Purify with Syra. I finally feel as if someone has listened, guided me, and helped me understand what's going on with my gut health. Gone are the episodes of bloating, discomfort, and low energies. Within the 3 weeks, I followed the plan, including accepting the reasons for the initial headaches as I withdrew from sugar, caffeine, processed foods, and these were replaced with increased energy, health guts, losing half a stone, and craving goodness and variation into my daily routine. Having previously believed I would just have to live with my gut issues for the rest of my life, I now have a long-term solutions for improving and understanding my gut health. And that's amazing. Most people have these issues and they think, oh, I just have to live with it. I have IBS, I bloat all the time, and that's now their normal. It's not normal. You don't have to suffer, So there's ways in which we can support you, and there's a coaching program with this as well, where you get one-to-one support throughout the 21 days. But why I recommend that you do next, if you're interested in just seeing where you are after the fast, if you've already done a health and lifestyle with me prior to the fast, then let's do another one so we can see the difference and we can quantify how far you've come, and the difference. And then also those who are not ready to do the fasting part yet and just want to do the 21-day gut protocol, then let's or even just looking at the other products that are available that's going to help them, because there's loads of different products out there within Synergy. Then let's book in a health and lifestyle analysis. This is free. My email is Syra@myhighpriestess.co.uk. Sorry, I didn't add that on here, but this is where we look at your bodily systems and where are they weak and where do they need support. So I highly recommend you book this in. It's free. You need about 20 minutes of your time. So take action today. And if you're on the fence, you've nothing to lose. Like just email me, so we can start looking at where you need support or where you are strong. And that's basically everything really. And I just want to share briefly. So for me, I've been hugely passionate with wanting to support people transition to a healthy lifestyle. And since it, expanding my own consciousness, all I've wanted so much was for people to experience life like I did. Well, like I do really, with being so clean and being raw vegan and fasting in many ways. And so I started sharing on social media, but I wasn't really getting the clients. And this created doubt in my mind with feelings of like, am I good enough? Who am I to help people with their health and nutrition? And so feeling deflated with not getting anywhere and starting to lose faith, the stars aligned and Synergy found me. And so I went on their training and straight away knew this company was in alignment with my values and in its integrity. And then I had amazing results in their products myself with their E9 and their Pro RG. And I got excited. And then I got excited and my passion was reignited because I knew these products and programs were greatly going to help people. And this is exactly what I've been looking for because I know that service to others is my sole purpose and passion. So, yeah, it's been an amazing journey partnering with them as a holistic practitioner and a healer in general. So yeah, thanks for watching and listening, and we will get some questions. Okay, let's